what we do now is we provide this to businesses whereby they give us $50 for a vacation voucher, and they use that vacation voucher as a Happy Meal toy to get people to buy their refrigerator or their lawn mowing services or whatever they're selling, right?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So what message do you have for the entrepreneurs regarding pricing, John?
Well, I think you've probably said it, Harry. The thing is that if you market your product or service on price, then the guy down the road will be able to beat you in 5 minutes. I mean, let's face it, most businesses are in what we call a Me Too industry. So if you're into solar, there's probably a dozen other companies out there in your particular geographic area that are selling solar. If you're a furniture shop, I bet you've got 3 or 4 competitor furniture shops. Very, very few people have a unique product or service where there's no competitors. So if you've got lots of competitors and you drop your price from $300 to $199, there's a pretty good chance that one of those competitors will say, okay, well, we can match that and we'll beat it. So we'll drop to $175. And normally it's the biggest competitor that can wipe you out, because, if you're up against Kmart and you're a small little store, then good luck. If you think you're going to beat Kmart on price, then you need, some psychotherapy. You're not going to beat them, right? And so therefore, if you said, look, buy my products or services, and I will give you an incentive, I'll give you a reward, and that could be a dining voucher, it could be a free holiday, it could be fuel discounts, it could be a movie ticket. If you give people a reward, then your big 40-ton gorilla will be having committee meetings for 6 months to try and work out how to match that. Whereas if you have a price discount, bang, they'll beat you in 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I think that we human beings, right? When we buy, we look for something that we call value. Yeah, when my girlfriend Lily goes to buy dresses, and go with her, I don't like to go. The reason is because she goes inside one shop, she sees one dress, she goes out, she goes to another one. So while she's doing this process, I'm analyzing her buying behavior.
Yep.
It's always at the result of that experience in Oxford Street in London, which is a lot of stores there, that in the end, sometimes we have to come back to, if we check 20 shops or 20 stores, maybe we need to come back to number 5 and get the dress from there. So it's curious that the winning dress sometimes is not the most expensive, never the cheapest. And she goes inside the shop, look at the dress, touch it, look at the dress, the design, goes out. So I think at the end of the day, what she's looking is for value. What is the most value?
You got it.
Money. As entrepreneurs, if we want to sell our product to a price that is suitable for us and give us good margin, we have to focus in something that is a secret recipe, which is high perceived value at the low cost to you. Because so John, what tips do you have to create what we call it high perceived value at the low cost? Because if you create high perceived value or high value to your product, but it's to a high cost, that's gonna hit your margins. So what are the secrets to create high perceived value?
The secret is
clients at low cost to us?
As you can tell from my accent, I'm from Australia. We have clients around the world, but most of our clients are in Australia, of course. And I've over the years provided value add incentive promotions for McDonald's and KFC and 7-Eleven
Wow. Wow.
and came up, yeah, all these big businesses. And some years ago, I had a client called the Greater Building Society down under. They were a bank, and they were up against the big banks here in Australia, the Wells Fargo sort of banks. I mean, they weren't called Wells Fargo, but
Wow.
anyone listening in America would know that the Wells Fargo bank is big. So this smaller bank called the Greater contracted me to help them get more market share for home loans. And when I had a look at their business, basically they were trying to beat the 40-ton gorilla by discounting their interest rates. And I said, you're not going to win that fight. The big banks will beat you. And so therefore I was doing some TV commercials at the time for a travel discount company. So I introduced them and we stopped giving away a honeymoon rate. As you probably would know, most banks worldwide, when you get a home loan from them, they entice you to come on because they give you a 1% break for the first year. And then, of course, it goes back up after the first year. So I said, listen, why don't you do this? Why don't you give them that 1% and give it to the travel company? And from now on, when someone swaps their home loan from one of the bigger banks across to you, you give them a free holiday. Okay. And it went nuts. We're talking billions
Wow.
and billions of extra loans. So we just came on TV and social media. And we said, get a home loan, get a free holiday. And it went so well that 3 or 4 years into it, I got Jerry Seinfeld to do the ads. So I flew backwards and forwards to New York and we had Jerry Seinfeld come on TV here in Australia and he would say, swap your home loan from the big banks, come across to the Greater and get a free holiday. And once we had Jerry Seinfeld doing it, it went through the stratosphere. And this idiot who you're talking to, Harry, charged a consultancy fee instead of a percentage of the increase in home loans. I wished I'd charged a percentage instead of a damn consultancy fee.
Oh
But
my
anyway,
God.
and so what happened? The
That
reason
was a
I'm telling you
brilliant
that,
idea, John. Brilliant idea.
yeah, well, look, the reason I'm telling you that story is because this came about as a result of it. And what I've got in my hand here is a vacation voucher at the moment, which we give businesses for $50 and it's worth $1,000. And the reason that I bring this up is because having done all the McDonald's and KFC promotions over the years, I know the people who came up with the Happy Meal toy. They came up with the Happy Meal toy 45 years ago.
Wow.
They live in Trump. Yeah, they live in Trump Tower now. It's an Australian couple. And of course, when you or anyone goes to McDonald's and buys a Happy Meal, of course, we know that's for the toy. I've got 6 children. They're all grown up and left home now. And we had
Oh,
6
tell me
children.
about it. My nephew goes crazy.
Yep.
The greatest.
We must.
What an amazing
We
way to create high perceived value. And more than that, to create an experience. It's not
Yeah,
about
well,
the
so
burger.
that
It's not about the
that
burger
that
anymore, right?
that toy only cost them 20 cents. So when you say low cost, high perceived value, that toy cost them 20 cents. And in Kmart, that toy's worth $5. So that's why it works, because the parents or grandparents, when they're buying a Happy Meal, they know that toy is worth $4 to $5 in Kmart. That's why it works. And what happened is that after I did the Seinfeld campaign, we had a company contact us just before COVID, and they said, look, we've got access to unsold hotel rooms right throughout the UK and Europe, right throughout America, Southeast Asia, Mexico, you name it. And these hotels are happy to give up their rooms for free outside of school vacations because they hope whoever stays there will spend money on food and beverage. And they said, look, we've seen your Seinfeld campaign. You look like you've got half a clue when it comes to marketing. We've got these hotel rooms. Do you want to join forces? So, what we do now is we provide this to businesses whereby they give us $50 for a vacation voucher, and they use that vacation voucher as a Happy Meal toy to get people to buy their refrigerator or their lawn mowing services or whatever they're selling, right? We have a dentist practice that's a client at the moment who specializes in Invisalign braces, and that's the invisible braces, mainly for children's teeth. And what happens is that they say, look, get a $5,000 invisible braces and we'll give you a free holiday. They've doubled their turnover in 2 months just by giving away a free holiday with every set of braces.
Yeah. So that's this, John, is fantastic because, like I say, if you can combine this adding value with an experience, now the whole is, again, it's a high perceived value at a low cost. In this case, maybe no cost to you because the hotel is actually promoting the hotel.
Harry, the way we make money out of it, we get the hotel rooms for free. So therefore, when we charge the business $50 for the voucher, our expenses are our operational expenses and the commission we pay the travel company, because the travel company came up with this, but I'm the one that put it together the way that we do it. So we actually we sell this to businesses right around the world, in the UK and Europe and America. And basically what happens is that, the business uses this just like a Happy Meal toy. So when I'm promoting this on a webinar or I'm on stage at a seminar, I say to everyone in the room, look, would you be willing to give up 10% of your sale price if we could double or triple your business overnight? And of course, everyone puts their hand up. And I said, well, now, courtesy of Groupon, you know that if you have a 10% sale, nobody gives a rat's. I mean, 10% is not going to get anyone's attention when Groupon is 50%. And they go, yes. I said, well, how would you like something like this whereby it's worth $1,000, but you buy it for $50 and you say to someone, spend $500 with me and I'll give you a free vacation. So when someone spends $500 with you, I know you guys are on pounds and shillings and pence, but just say $500, then guess what? If you've spent $50 on the Happy Meal toy, which is the voucher, and you're giving it to people who spend $500, it's equivalent to a 10% discount, but is 4,000 times more powerful.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.